From a $3 million sports car, to owning a mansion Tom Brady lived in, to even spending billions on a frickin' NBA team, here are 5 stupidly expensive things MLB players own. And Jack Clark, popularly known as Jack the Ripper, well, he bought something so stupid, it literally caused him to lose his entire fortune. This man thought it was a good idea to buy a $700,000 car. That's right, a 1990 Ferrari worth close to $1 million. Now, the reason Jack was able to afford this expensive car was because he had once been one of the most feared right-handed hitters in the National League, winning the Silver Slugger Award in 1985 and 1987. He began his minor league baseball career in 1973 with the Great Falls Giants, where he played the outfield and third base, and had a 0-2 record in 5 games as a pitcher. In 1974, he led the league with 117 RBIs with Fresno. The following year, he led the league with 23 home runs with Lafayette. But by 1992, the dude was over $6.7 million in debt because of his obsession with cars. You see, Jack the Ripper has a deep fancy for running machines. And no, I don't mean a treadmill. I'm talking about cars, really expensive cars. And Jack, well, he had a crazy expensive collection of cars, all which were loaned from banks. Which it turns out is a bad idea because he managed to spend more money than he actually had. This man was hoarding more cars than a kid hoarding candy after Halloween. And Jack's collection included 3 Mercedes-Benz cars, each of which costed more than $100,000, not to mention several other cars and his $700,000 Ferrari. And as it turns out, you can definitely have too much of one thing, because Jack's expensive car collection would leave him broke. But at least he didn't buy a $3 million golden car, because that's exactly what Robinson Cano decided to do. The former second baseman for the Seattle Mariners thought it would be a good idea to get himself a Ferrari 458 Spider and then have it wrapped in frickin' gold. Now that's a flex. Robinson played previously for the New York Yankees between 2005 and 2013, and then for the Seattle Mariners between the years of 2014 and 2018. His career highlights include World Series champion, Silver Slugger Award, Gold Glove Award, among others. And when Robinson isn't destroying it on the field, he's pumping his cash into his Ferrari 458 Spider. I mean, the car costs a lot already, but I guess that didn't stop him from customizing it even more. And no, he doesn't just ask for some modifications with the wheels or anything. Cano demands a total facelift. And well, you can pretty much tell how damn gorgeous the 458 Spider looks in gold. The entire piece is rumored to cost about $3 million. But if you thought buying a $3 million golden sports car was expensive, Patrick Mahomes literally bought an MLB team. Well, Patrick Mahomes II tried to pull that stunt off when he offered to buy ownership stake in the Kansas City Royals. And the Royals' majority owner was overjoyed at his offer. I mean, who doesn't want one of the biggest sports legends backing your team? Patrick purchased a minority stake in the Kansas franchise at a little over $10 million. Yeah, that's right, $10 million. And the reason he was able to do that was because in 2020, Patrick became the first North American athlete to rake in over $500 million as he signed a $503 million extension with Kansas City Chiefs. Fresh from signing the deal, he locked arms with the Kansas City Royals, becoming the youngest team owner in MLB history as he had purchased a stake in the Kansas City Royals at the age of 24. Mahomes has enjoyed an unusual career in the NFL. The Royals chairperson, CEO, and principal owner John Sherman mentioned in a press release that they were very proud and excited to have Patrick as our partner in the ownership group of this franchise. I have watched Patrick compete and become an extraordinary leader both on and off field. The chief went on to highlight Mahomes' roots in baseball, something that had started with Mahomes' father, Pat Mahomes, who was an MLB demon. Patrick's father had played 11 seasons in the MLB as a reliever, and Patrick himself had been drafted by the Detroit Tigers in the 2014 MLB amateur draft. However, Patrick opted out, deciding to pursue a career in the NFL. And the reason Patrick Mahomes decided to sell his house was because he was subscribed to our channel, Shortstop. And if you don't subscribe, you're never gonna get a $500 million sports contract like Patrick. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe already. Anyways, as it turns out, it was the smarter move because now he's one of the NFL's best talents, and he's already made enough money to buy a frickin' MLB team. If you think Patrick Mahomes II was crazy, it turns out this money-spending virus is kind of a big thing when it comes to the MLB. Take Yankee shortstop Hall of Famer Derek Jeter, who sold his Tampa, Florida mansion apartment for a whopping $22.5 million. The apartment had previously been rented to NFL quarterback Tom Brady. Considered one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history, Tom Brady is worth an estimated $200 million. And if you thought that was a lot, Tom married Gisele Bündchen, and the killer couple are valued at $600 million. In 2020, Brady rented the waterfront property in Tampa Bay after he ended his time with the New England Patriots and signed with the Buccaneers. The property belonged to Derek Jeter, who acquired it in 2005. Jeter lived in the mansion from 2014, and upon acquiring ownership of the Miami Marlins in 2017, he moved out, leaving the apartment up for rent. Although the mansion was originally purchased at $6.3 million in 2005, Mr. Jeter did some massive upgrades to the mansion, as he raised the home built there, building the 22,000-foot replacement, which included a wine cellar, a movie theater, along with a frickin' air-conditioned garage capable of holding 6 cars. However, the Miami Marlins exec recently listed the massive estate for $29 million. And sadly for Tom Brady, it forced him to move out of the house and look for someplace else to live. But at least Derek Jeter's purchases didn't cost over $1 billion. Because for Alex Rodriguez, he decided to buy an NBA team that cost over $1 billion. While of course Rodriguez isn't buying the team all by himself, the baseball star has teamed up with e-commerce mogul Mark Lore to buy the team off of its previous owners. The duo met up with Minnesota Timberwolves owner Glenn Taylor about the deal, and Glenn went hell yeah upon hearing the 10-figure deal. Alex and his partner, Lore, will own 50% each of the Minnesota Timberwolves if the deal goes through. I say if, because the duo once tried to buy the New York Mets a year ago but got beaten hands down by a hedge fund manager, Stephen Cohen. And when it comes to paying over $500 million, I won't be worried because Rodriguez had quite a great career, hitting 696 home runs for 22 seasons. His career took a dark turn upon his admittance to using performance-enhancing drugs, getting him suspended for violating MLB rules. But I mean, life can't be that bad because this man has enough money to buy an actual NBA team. Anyways, those are 5 stupidly expensive things MLB players have bought with their money. See ya!